But that was the only way he got around it, was the sunbathing. But anyway, on the same site, like I said to you before, the night shift on the other plant on the same site, they had one died of leukemia. They had one died of throat cancer. Another had cancer but got through it, but he was young. And it does, it screws with your system. So, you're not getting any sunlight or anything like that. It's going to affect your body. So if you can supplement it, go for it,
A lot of my colleagues shift work. One of them
Confirm.
worked through the don't know, but he was always a guy who do ins and outs of finance as well, so he was all literally able to tell you how much he was working one day and the next when he was in retirement. But then one day, just at night time, he just had to sleep at night, and then they discovered he had a fucking brain tumour. And then they had to operate it. I think that's a completely different person to that.
Yeah. Well, my mate had the same thing, look, and he was only 30. I remember him, he was a big thing on Monday, because he worked in the bank, right? So he was up twice, up to 2 different banks, every week, and local. He's got by train. But anyway, he was in that mindset, right? And he said, because again, he bought the house that we're in, but he said, I've only got, if I do a couple of more years, I can get that paid and that paid. And he said, that'll be sorted then, And he had twins. His missus had twins. And it was within 14 months he was dead, bless him. But he had melanoma. Bumped his head on the rotary line while he taking the dog out in the garden and messing about with the ball, throwing in the ball, and he just propped his head up and hit the line. And go, Christ, what was that? Anyway, it like a bruise. He felt like a bruise. So he said, oh shit. So a week passed, right, and this thing just got bigger and bigger. And that was it. He had it biopsy, and that was it. Game over. No, nothing they could do. Gone the rest of his body. 30 years of age. No, I haven't, I'm afraid. Yeah, bit doom and gloomy. I don't know about mine. I think we'll talk Christmas. What do you reckon? Grim Reaper? Yeah, probably. Grim, I don't know about Reaper, but Grim something. But again, if I don't talk about these things, we're more informed then, aren't we? You can do something or not. Because you're well. I look at life different than me, mate. I'm still here, by the skin of my teeth, but I'm here. I tell you, everything happens for a reason, and you're listening to me for a reason. So, yeah. Hey, listen. I just lots of information for you. You know, it's not do as I do as I tell you. You know, but I'm not like that. I like to be informed. You know, somebody knows something that I don't know. I'd like to know it, and then I can make a decision on that. You know, it's a wonderful thing. You know.
Looking for a home, and sharing one of the most important things that
of King's College, Cambridge to the motorway verge. This means the meadow is on the march. That and explore. Oh.
Well, they can get me up in the middle of the night. Or once. Sometimes it does get me up in the middle of the night. Yep, cool. I would. Just want to go out. No, it's unusual. Normally the first one. And, yeah, I want to go out. And another strange thing. Was a quite heavy frost. Yeah, real heavy. And it was clearing in about 2 hours. It's unusual to get your frost down here, eh? Yeah, it does sort of go, but it hangs around, you know? But the other day, it had gone within a couple of hours. A bit weird. It was, when I, in the evening, it wasn't that frost. It wasn't that cold out. I'm saying I went out in the morning and it was real, yeah, I think it went on, last night, I come out. Yeah, so that's about the only thing that's been any good. Yeah, it's warmer. Oh, we did get a little bit, but really, my other dog, my other black German shepherd, she square up the green, her old snowball jumping, and jumping in the air, she jumped for him and that. She used to love it. Yeah, well, I think that, yeah, we have to, Right, we are there tonight. We want to say hello. What did you say?
Confirm.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah, he'd been out shopping. And yeah. Yeah, like I said, it didn't sound like him actually. So, because again, when I first heard it, I thought, what the hell? I didn't recognise the voice. And then as soon as he started talking a bit more, I worked out it was him.
He got married again?
Oh, I don't know about that. That's a bit personal, isn't it?
Confirm.
I don't know. She hasn't been well, so she's recuperating. Yeah, so... Yeah, so it's all go, he said. So, yeah. Him in then. Again, he's still got the lurgy, but his missus she's got it big time now. George's wife, Sue. The cold, the bad cold. So, yeah, she's full of it now. Any sightings recently?
No, I did a while ago. I've got a black German Shepherd. Always right behind you. She gets that close, she stands on the back of my slipper and nearly has me over. I was in the kitchen. Oh, fucking awful. And I went, and I could see her out the corner of my eye. And I went, come on, move, yeah. And then I looked down, she weren't there. So, I don't know whether it was my other dog come back.
What, one of these ones?
Shopping. And that she used to wait by the in the porch. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've got a big telescopic one. And this little thing works just as well as my 50... I'll show you.
I still used to see a black...
Hmm?
Yeah, there. So, yeah, I don't want you to make a little bugger.
I've got this, which is just massive.
Not 100%.
I don't know what the signal's like going out, but I know it's working well. But this one, the size of that, compared to that. Anyway, put this telescopic on, which, until I tested this one, I thought this one was the best.
On shot by.
Yeah, it does. Believe me, it gets quicker and quicker. I used to laugh at my father-in-law. And he should time to get something.
Size of that one.
Time to go to bed. I said, yeah, right, okay. But it does. It's like, oh, shit. I said, it's even now. My missus said, where we would go to work now, you know? It's like the day just disappears. It really does. I mean, obviously we're wasting it. No doubt about that, you know? Oh, fancy cup of tea? Yeah. You know, a couple of biscuits. You know?
Well, you'll find that little black one
What was that program I was watching?
will be just as good as this long one. In fact, I'm quite amazed by it.
He does a bit on UFOs and, you know, secret stuff. And
what I like about the little black one
that we had.
is obviously this huge thing. You gotta watch what you're doing with it.
Sizewell
The little one.
B, you know, the power station. Why Sizewell was built? Because of the power, right? It wasn't just, you know, it was the nuclear power to supply the government shenanigans they were up to. Yeah, you know, because it goes back to the 60s, isn't it? The early 60s. Yeah, so of course all this type of technology and everything else to do with
A lot more weight on it as well with that thing.
Right, Medusham. Right?
Saying
So
that,
he
these
dawned
do
into
work
things,
well. But...
right? And he had a Zoom meeting with these two guys who, in the late 90s, were. It was just at the. It was at the end of when the Americans.
Yeah, that's where I got mine from.
Right? So they finished.
All you need, right, for these radios, or any radio like this,
And they were selling it. You know, they were.
get yourself a telescopic. Get yourself one of them ones you've just ordered, and for 446 and 115, all the rest of the fucking numbers, all you need is one of them for the other frequencies, which I put on for the PMR, which is longer than the standard one.
And this other woman who
comes through crystal clear on here.
Basically, military police, and she was at the base.
And these people are not in my village.
The Rendlesham case kicked off, right?
They're in towns and villages
while
scattered
she
around
was
mine.
there, and she was going from bunker to bunker, doing a
Plus, I'm in a valley as well,
walking around with an M60.
so I do quite well.
And she came into contact with a 7-foot high cryptoid. So it's like a, the same sort of triangular head, like a praying mantis.
What black one? The black one you've just ordered, or the one I've just showed you for the PMR?
Tells her, go back to your job.
If it's the
nothing to see here.
one you've just bought for the 27 megs, it's not going to work on the PMR really well. But you can get airband on it. But
I saw that in '79, and
the only reason really you want to you want to connect your new one up that you've just ordered is really for the 27 megs. No worries.
both of them are separate occasions.
I'll let you know when I find a better aerial than the one that you just ordered, because at the minute the little black one's just as good as a telescopic, that's for sure.
Basically like a praying mantis, but quicker. And yeah, it just like it blows. Honestly, it was an hour.
What we'll do is swap it over.
And I watched it, and I've got to tell you what, it was like, wow, because a lot of stuff goes on down in Somerset, Suffolk,
Hang on, let me spin that round.
Yeah. Well, we are fairly lucky because we're not like bloody Australia where we've got no snakes and poisonous spiders and stuff like that. So we're sort of right. Yeah.
No antenna. But these little ones, that one you've just got, these are unbelievable for the size.
Tall and 7 foot tall, it kind of gets you going, doesn't it? It's a little bit weird. And being what shit happened at Woodbridge all them years ago. I said down in Somerset, didn't I? There's in Warminster as well. Again, that's where the military are.
Cool, these two are going for it today.
Warminster, Yeovil,
It should be PMR. Let me just check the PMR network.
And yeah, I think the one in Warminster was back in 19...
Let's try and check it on this antenna.
And they had thousands of people watching these Sky.
Welcome. Frequency mode.
Well, that's what we need. That's 2 air bands.
Roger, well, you'll give
Yeah,
me
that.
3 bars of radio 5.
That's the PMR. That's the PMR South Coast network.
Very much. Okay, I think there's another breakdown there as well.
But if I put my PMR aerial in, I'll get it a lot better. That's air band on that one. It's all quite busy tonight. Normally the guys that I've got on the 27 megs there are normally on this 446, which sometimes in the summer goes on to like 1 in the morning. That's every Monday. I'm not on the South Coast, but I can just pick it up. I can't hear everybody though, I know. Depends. Really, it's just about how high you can get. The higher you get,
Good of it.
you can have this crappiest aerial in the world, but if you get it up high enough.
You can't trust these Americans, can you? Secret this, secret that.
But considering my village is in a valley, my signals come crashing in.
That's it. I mean, all the countries that are doing experiments.
No worries, you're very welcome.
I reckon, I could be wrong, but I reckon the Chinese invented that COVID.
Chinese invented the COVID.
Yeah.
Bat fever.
They tried it out. That's what I reckon. They tried it out, but it got carried away. Couldn't control it. That's what I think.
Experiment gone wrong.
Because when you think about it, they do lots of stuff, don't they? So yeah, same as these walkie-talkies and radios or tablets or whatever that blew up. It makes it hard to believe. Phones on it and walkie-talkies.
Plus, I'm indoors. I mean, you go outdoors, gets even better.
Well, I reckon that's Chinese as well. But who knows?
That was Israeli Mossad, wasn't it? They planted them in the radios on pages. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, and blew them up. I remember that.
Oh, I think it was a bloody good idea. It worked a treat. Absolutely worked a treat, that did. They caught a load off guard. Because they literally, they all went off in one go, didn't they, virtually? Yeah. Because of that very reason. You know, if one or two go off and the rest don't, you know, they're going to get wind to it, aren't they? But yeah, loads of them copped it. But yeah, that's with the Wuhan. That's why Trumpy came up with. Do you remember early on he said, "Oh, the Chinese." It come out of Wuhan, which was right. It did come out of Wuhan, right? I'd read as well that there was an American company involved with this Chinese company to do with this bioweapons thing, right? The Americans were paying. So whether or not it was to do with the Biden administration, what? But it was, yeah, it was like an operation. This is how he knew. And of course, that's why he let the cat out of the bag, you know, because obviously it was something to do with the Biden lot. You know, CIA, whatever. But yeah, they'd organised it. So they were trying to make this thing. Yeah. But then that same company in Wuhan, right, which is still going on, they went on from the COVID and they produced another one. Honest to God, you couldn't make it up. It's like, hold on, do you know when to stop? You know? But no, they want control, don't they? Because I think if everybody's got it, they can flick a switch and that's it.
Yeah. Well, Trump, yeah, he's a dangerous man, isn't he, really? Where was it you did that? Well, it was it Venezuela. It went in and and then they got their whatever it was, president or whatever. They reckon it was heavily involved in drugs and that. And they went and captured him in his own country. So that's not me. He don't care. He do what he wants. You know, very dangerous. But he's one of the men that would press that button. You know, I don't ever doubt that.
No, do you know what? I used to think.
Yeah, night, mate. I'm going to dive off here anyway. I need to charge my phone up. Anyway, whatever you're doing, have a good one. I am out of here. If I can get to the right button.